Hello and welcome to another match preview on Football Talk Podcast. My name is Ozzie and I'm your host for today's show. After suffering a defeat against Arsenal last weekend, I'm sure the team are ready to get back to winning ways and try to maintain their position in the league. From the reaction of Arsenal fans, you'd think they'd won the league, but after that hoorah, they're currently sitting in third position. Man City managed to beat Brentford 3-1 on Monday, so they're a couple of points away with a game in hand. So the pressure is on us as the title race is heating up. But all we have to do is concentrate on our next fixtures and take control of our own destiny, and that's winning football matches. In match week 24, we will be facing Burnley at Anfield. So this will be the game where we kickstart our Premier League title hunt once again. The last time we faced Burnley, we beat them, was it 2-0, I believe? So I'm expecting the same at Anfield. We haven't lost in 23 games at home. So that gives me a lot of confidence going into this game. And Burnley's recent form hasn't been that great, to be honest. They've lost 3 times and drawn twice, currently sitting in 19th position and desperately needing the points if they are to have any chance of moving up the table. Vincent Company hasn't really altered his way of playing from last season in the Championship, and is pretty much sticking to his philosophy, which you have to applaud him. But at the same time, sticking with your principles might cost their status in the Premier League. But we can discuss that across the bridge, as there's still plenty of games to play in the season. So let's present the team news, and then I'll also show my predicted lineups for both teams. I'll then go through how both teams will tactically set up, and then reveal my score prediction. So let's start with Liverpool, the home team. So in terms of our team news, Konate is suspended for 1 match after receiving a red card against Arsenal. So Bosley is struggling with a hamstring injury. Now, if you've been on social media, I'm hearing different noises from different corners with regards to the length of his absence. Some are saying 3 to 4 weeks. Some are saying it's a lot longer. I'm sure Klopp will clarify this in tomorrow's press conference. I'm not sure if Conor Bradley will be available for this fixture. I think he should be given some more time off. It's been a difficult week for him and his family, so it's only right that he's given time and space to grieve. In regards to other players, Salah and Tsimikas are close to returning to full fitness, but I think this game might be too soon for their return. Matic remains on the sidelines alongside Joel Matip and Ben Doak. And some unfortunate news today, Thiago has picked up another injury after his brief cameo against Arsenal. What can I say? He's so unlucky when it comes to his injuries. I don't know the extent of how serious it is. It could just be a small muscle injury. But at this stage, who knows? We've waited a long time for his return. Pretty much came off for 5-10 minutes and back to the sideline. So we'll see in terms of if there's any further announcements with his availability. But some good news. Wataru Endo has returned from international duty and is ready to be in the squad. Now, in terms of Burnley, they've got quite a few injuries. So Koleosho, Nathan Redmond, and Charlie Taylor are on the sidelines and will not be available for this fixture. Bayer and Del Cruz will face late fitness tests before being selected in the squad. And Egdal was taken off at halftime, I believe, in the last fixture. So I'm not sure if he's fit enough for this game. So let's do the predicted lineups for both teams. So we'll start with the away team, and that's Burnley. So traditionally this season, they've been playing a 4-4-2 formation. So it'll be interesting to see how they set up. But I'm pretty sure this will be their tactics going forward. So in terms of their goalkeeper, it will be Trafford. He's pretty much their mainstay goalkeeper in their lineup. And then in terms of the back four, so normally it would be Vitinho on the right-hand side, but due to Charlie Taylor's injury, I think he's shifted over to the left-back area. So we'll put him there. Vitinho right there. And then on the other flank, it will be Asinon, who has been playing in recent weeks. Is that him? I think that's him. And Let me see if that is actually him. I think I'm not sure if he used to play for Rons. Oh no, he did. So that is him. It just hasn't been updated on that website. In terms of their centre back pairing, it will be O'Shea, and then you've got it was Ekdal that played in the previous game, but I'm not sure if he's fit for this one. So it might be a full debut for their player Esteve. So where is he? I'm going to say it's this fella here. I think it was a new signing. So let me see what club he's actually joined from. Burnley. Yeah, he's from Montpellier. So that is the same signing there. Okay, so that's the back four, which is slightly unfamiliar in terms of these two players here because I haven't seen much of them. So I'm not sure what they'll bring to the table. In terms of the midfield four, you'd go for, I think Goodmanson would start on the right hand side. And then on the left wing, it will be Odobert, who's been a bright spark for this Burnley team. Kolyosha has been a good player as well, but unfortunately he's not available in this fixture. And then in terms of the two midfielders there, you've got, I think you go for Brownhill on the right side. There you go. And then you'd go for Sanderberger over there. So that's the midfield four, which looks like a solid one, to be fair. You've got two industrious midfielders in Berger and Brownhill. Oliver is a player with lots of flair, two-footed as well. So he's going to be a tricky opponent, whoever's playing right back for Liverpool. Goodmanson is a hard worker, but I can also chip in with the goals. So that'll be the midfield four. In terms of up top, so they've got quite a few options. You've got Foster, you've got Amdouni, you've got Fofana available for this fixture. I'm going to go for Amdouni on the left side. I'm going to go for Fofana. Fofana, if he's there. It's not this Fofana. He's a Chelsea player. It's this one, but they haven't updated the team. So he's on loan from Chelsea. Pretty much, I think he's made a couple of appearances. He scored a couple of goals in their last game. I believe it was a draw against Fulham. So a player that's in form. I think he'll be making his full debut in this one. And Amdouni is a tricky opposite player where he's got bag of skills, good turn speed, and he has a good shot on him as well. So I feel like as a combination, they'll be quite lethal and something for us to be wary about. Fofana actually surprised me in terms of his attacking play, where he attacked the right channel quite a bit in the last fixture, pretty much scored around this sort of area as well. So physical presence definitely, but can also mix it up a little bit in terms of using his raw speed and attacking the channels where centre backs probably don't want to go in that area. So interesting lineup there. I think for me, the midfield is solid. Up top will be solid as well. It's the back four. They haven't played a lot of games with each other. Vitinho's playing in a more unfamiliar role at left back. So this is an opportunity for Liverpool to really go at Burnley and try and hit them as soon as possible. Probably, I'd say in the first half, be as aggressive as possible. Really attack the wingers, attack the fullbacks and allow our wingers to really have an impact on the game. Oliver will be playing a bit more of a free role where I think he'll be out wide, but he'll probably cut in at times. You may even see these two players interchange if required, but Amdouni normally likes to play in this sort of area and then drop deep. So you'll have Goodmanson and Odobert being the more attacking players. These guys will drop deep to cover their defensive line. And then you've got Fofana around the 6-yard box. That will be his position. And then Dooney roaming around him wherever the ball is being played. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they play. I know they've got a very attacking way of playing football in terms of their philosophy implemented by Vincent Kompany. But that's probably a good team to play against, especially at home for Liverpool, where we're trying to get back on the bounce in terms of back to winning ways. So yeah, I think it's probably a more suited opposition for Liverpool to try and get a result against Burnley. So that's my Burnley lineup there. So I can remove this graphic. Just got a comment here from Daz who says, "Big up Ozzie, big up yourself, Daz. Thank you for tuning in." What I'll do now is I will present the predicted Liverpool lineup. So you can remove this graphic and then we'll upload the Liverpool one. And here we go. So if you're watching live, drop a comment in terms of who you think will start in this one. I'm sure there'll be a lot of debate in terms of who plays in certain roles. I know Trent has been a topic of conversation this week in regards to his position. Should we play him right back? Should we shift him to the midfield? Bit like deja vu for me because this was the same conversation we were having this time last year. And we did a bit of both. We ended up finding a new role for him as an inverted fullback. So some fans love it. Some fans are just fed up of it and don't see the benefit of that tactic going forward. So let's see how Klopp sets up his team in this fixture. So in terms of goal, it will be Alisson, no doubt, between the sticks. And then fullback area. So for me, it's not a representation of his performance in the last game, but I wouldn't start Trent in this one, only due to the fact that for me, he doesn't look fit. He was really off it in the Arsenal game. So for me, it'd be better to have him on the bench, come on for about half an hour, and then have him ready or in line to start against Brentford, which will be our next fixture after this. So for me, I think in terms of fitness, Robertson is ahead of Trent, in my opinion. So I would start Robertson in this fixture. And then I would have Joe Gomez on the other flank. So, for example, we could do it where Robertson plays for about 60 minutes, 1 hour, and then you've got Joe Gomez switching over to left back, and then Trent can come on playing that right back role. So that's I think an option to have going into the game. In terms of the back four, it's pretty much Van Dijk all day. And then alongside him will be Kwanzaa. With Konate being suspended, obviously no Matip available. So that is probably the better option we have. In terms of the midfield three, Endo's back from international duty. So is it too soon to put him in the team? McAllister for me has done really well in the last few weeks in that number 6 role. I'd probably go with Endo. I think Endo will be suited for this fixture. He's pretty much match ready. I think he returned a couple of days ago. So even if he plays for like an hour and then we have to rest him, we can do that in this game. But I feel like his presence will be definitely worth adding into this game, especially with an opposition like Burnley where they're playing 4-4-2. So having that extra body like Endo pressing against them will be very useful in our tactics. And due to the physical nature of Berger and Brownhill, I think Endo will be really suited in this fixture. So I'll start with Endo. And in the midfield, I'd start Curtis Jones on the right-hand side. I think he's more than capable of playing on the left, even as a number 6 if required, and on the right. He's very multifunctional. So I feel like he can do a good job there. And I'd have McAllister in the number 8 role on this side. So yeah, I think this will be an interesting lineup. Good balance in midfield. You've got Endo as a destroyer. You've got McAllister box to box, and you've got Jones as well. So yeah, I think this will be a good balance for us going forward. And then up top, so Salah has started training from what I believe. Not sure if he's ready to start this fixture. He may possibly be on the bench, but I'm probably thinking of Salah for the next game in terms of Brentford. I feel like that's the pin mark for me in terms of that's the game where he should return. Burnley is probably a bit too soon for me, but we'll see. But in terms of my predicted lineup, I'd go for Jota on the right-hand side. I'd go for Darwin Núñez up top, and I'd go for Diaz on the left-hand side. So this would be my starting lineup. Let me know what you think. I was contemplating of putting Trent in this team, where maybe Endo drops, and then you've got McAllister as a number 6, and then you've got Jones on the left and Trent on the right, which would add a good balance to the team. But I haven't seen Klopp play Trent in a number 8 role. We've seen him play in a number 6 or in a sort of like an inverted role where it ends up being in a double pivot, but I haven't seen him play further advanced in that number 8 role. But I certainly think he is an option going forward, especially if we have Conor Bradley returning. Definitely one for Klopp to consider. Just got a comment here from Daz who's presenting his lineup. So he's gone for Alisson, Bradley, Kwanzaa, Van Dijk, Gomez, Endo, Trent, McAllister, Diaz, Jota, Núñez. So you've gone for Bradley in your lineup. I'm not too certain in terms of his availability. I know the funeral was yesterday, I believe it was, or today. There was pictures floating around, which is not a good thing, but I guess that's informative for us. So I'm not sure he'll be returning to the starting lineup. I think Brentford will be another game for him to kind of pinpoint for that. Gomez at left back, which is fine. Endo, Trent, McAllister. So you've gone for Trent as a right mid. So I thought you'd. Okay, so let me see. So you've gone for Trent, McAllister. So I'm assuming you mean right centre mid, which I was contemplating as well. I can't lie. But I think I didn't want to drop Jones, and I wanted to bring Endo in the team. I think Endo would just add a better balance in our midfield. But hey, if that happens, I think that would be a pleasant surprise for me because we haven't seen Klopp play Trent in a number 8 role on the right side, pretty much what Szoboszlai does for Liverpool. So I feel like he can certainly do it. Some fans are like, oh, I don't think he has the capability of doing it. I think he does. Playing on that right side suits him better because he obviously he's a right back, and he will understand in terms of the movement of the other players around him in terms of what positions to take, and if he needs to interchange, he'll be perfectly suited for that role. So it's definitely one to look forward to in the future. Just got a comment here from Richard. Thank you for your comment, Richard. He says, I'm still angry about the Arsenal result on last Sunday. We should beat Arsenal and play better. We need to rectify it against Burnley and the rest of the season. Yeah, I get your frustration, to be fair. I think I got over it a couple of days later. But yeah, I know a lot of fans are still quite annoyed with it. But we have to move on. We've got this game to bounce back. It's probably the best suited team for us to have, where they're attack-minded team. So that obviously gives us spaces to exploit, but they're defensively pretty poor. But I think they probably conceded the most goals in the Premier League. So yeah, I think it is a team for us that is ideal in our situation where we need a bit of a punching bag in terms of our response. Like you're still angry. I'm sure the players feel that to an extent as well. So they need to unleash it on an opponent, and I think Burnley will be that opponent this week. So yeah, let's see how that pans out for us. So that's my lineup there. If you have any other suggestions, drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts. In terms of the score prediction, I'm not going to go for a crazy scoreline as such. I'm going to go 3-0 to Liverpool. I think we'll be solid in this game. I think we'll have learned from our mistake in the Arsenal game. Obviously, it's a different type of opposition. No disrespect to Burnley. They're not an Arsenal team, so we're not going to find that sort of pressing or quick football being played against us. I'm sure we'll be able to handle whatever Burnley have to offer for us. So in terms of the goal scorers, I'm going to go for Diogo Jota. Hoping for Darwin Núñez to hit the back of the net as well. I'm going for McAllister. I think McAllister will be on the score sheet. He's been taking a lot of shots, especially last game. He had quite a few shots against Arsenal, so I feel like he's gearing up to score a goal for us in very, very due course. So that's my prediction there. Let me know what you guys think as well. Just got a comment here from Daz. Do you know how long Dom is out for, Ozzy? At this stage, is very unclear. We were getting reports from Hungary, and there was another journalist saying 3 to 4 weeks. Some were saying even longer. So I think we'll get some clarity tomorrow. I think Klopp has a mid-afternoon press conference tomorrow. So I'm sure he'll review the extent of Szoboszlai's injury. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, and it's just a precaution for now. In terms of Thiago, no idea. It's a muscle injury from what I know, but that can mean anything with regards to Thiago. So yeah, frustrating to say the least. I know a lot of fans have expressed their views on Thiago, saying he was a waste of a signing, should have sold him last summer and all that stuff. I'm a big fan of Thiago. I've been for a long time before he was a Liverpool player, so slight biases on that because he's one of my favorite midfielders of all time. But yeah, it's just one of those things where we bought him where unfortunately injuries have caught up to him, and yeah, hasn't gone to plan, unfortunately, in terms of his time at Liverpool. But still with us until the end of the season. I don't expect us to extend the contract with Thiago. There was also rumours I read yesterday in terms of having giving him an extension, and if Alonso's the manager, then he can be part of Alonso's coaching staff, like a player coach kind of role, which just sounds like fantasy stuff to me. I don't think that is the case. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Right now, I can't even think that far ahead in terms of who our next manager will be. I'm pretty much still within this season. I'm not thinking too far ahead. Having said that, Bayer Leverkusen are playing Bayern Munich on Saturday afternoon, so that is one game to look out for. It's actually after the Liverpool game. So once you watch the Liverpool Burnley game, why not flip the channel to watch Bayer Leverkusen versus Bayern Munich? Hence why I'm doing my match reaction a bit later, because I'm more intrigued to watch that game to see how Alonso sets up. So yeah, I'll be doing my match reaction at 10 p.m. UK time on Saturday evening. Just got another comment here from Richard, who says Gravenberg, Gakpo, and Jota and Jones were ghosts against Arsenal. We play wrong tactics, formation, style of play, and system against Arsenal. We need to come out firing against Burnley. Yeah, I think the players you named, the only one for me that did a decent job, well, I would say throughout the whole game, Liverpool probably had like 20 minutes of play where we looked like we were trying to make things happen. That was literally the opening 20 minutes of the second half. But once that goal happened, Martinez goal, where, calamity from Van Dijk and Alisson, all that kind of good work just went to waste. And yeah, we were back to square one after that. I think the mood went down and we never really got back into it. And then the red card for Konate certainly didn't help. It pretty much ruined our shape after that. So yeah, one game to figure out, I'd say. I know it's still hurting you, Richard, but it's better for us just to drop and forget and move on to the next game. And then Daz has gone for 4-0 prediction. I think you like your 4-0 prediction. You predicted that last time as well. Jota 2 goals, Diaz 1, and Nunes 1. Fair play to you. And Richard said Thiago injured again. We need to get rid of this clown in the season. I very much doubt he'll be receiving a contract extension. It would make no sense. As much as I rate him as a player, yeah, it's not worth it at all. That space could easily be occupied by a new midfielder that is available to play week in, week out. At this stage, we don't really need passengers. We've got so many youngsters coming through as well. It'll just be a blocker for any new players coming in terms of outside of the team, and also in terms of new players coming through the ranks. So yeah, for me, I don't see him again a contract extension, unless the rumors are to be true, where Alonso wants him to be part of his coaching staff, so he might play a player/coaching role. I don't see him retiring as well, to be fair. I could probably see him going back to Spain, possibly. Saudi is an option. That's where the money is right now. So Saudi would be a great option for him, I think, where it won't be as intense. And get a nice paycheck before he retires. So yeah, definitely an option for Thiago to look forward to, I guess. Just don't see it being at Liverpool, unfortunately. And then your next comment, Richard, is we need to get a left-sided centre-back, a number 6, and a right wing in the summer. I agree, but it also depends on who the next manager is, because if it is Alonso, for example, he's playing a 3-4-2-1 formation. So looking at the squad, if it is a back three, it won't be one centre back. I think he'll probably need 2 with Matip, who also I don't believe will be receiving a new contract either, departing, and then you need an additional one. So like a left-sided one like you just mentioned. A number 6, yes, but I feel like it depends on the formation. Obviously, we know Klopp isn't here, so a 4-3-3 formation might not be the favourite formation of our next managers. So the managers that we were linked with Alonso, obviously, so he plays a 3-4-2-1 formation. The Ruben Almiron also plays 3-4-2-1 formation for Sporting Lisbon. So similar approach in terms of their style of play. So if you've got a back three, then you've got a double pivot. It's interesting. I'll definitely be doing a show on this in I say the coming weeks, once I've kind of settled down to the fact that Klopp is going, and then we're strongly linked with a manager. But if it is Alonso, it's an interesting one, because Alonso might favour Trent Alexander-Arnold to be a midfielder in a double pivot, or he can play as an advanced right midfield player, which, a lot of fans will tell you is the role that he played for in the youth academy. So played right mid, played centre mid as well. So definitely option there. Or it could be a thing where it's McAllister and Alonso has another player in mind to play alongside him at number 6. So just to put it out there, maybe someone like a Zubimendi from Real Sociedad, who he knows very well, a very good technical player, can play DM, can play centre mid as well. I think he'd suit our team. And then having two advanced 10s in front. So you have Szoboszlai. I think Salah might be deploying that kind of formation, but hey, I'm thinking a bit too far ahead there. But in terms of the positions you mentioned, yeah, a defender, a midfielder, I'd say, and a right wing. Yeah, I think a right wing would make sense as well. We've done really well, to be fair, in terms of playing without Salah. But yeah, maybe we need to find that long-term successor now, where Salah might not be here for a long time. I personally hope he retires at the club. That would be my dream for him. I don't think Saudi appeals to him the way people are making it seem out to be, because, the obvious connection is that he's Muslim. So why wouldn't he want to go to Saudi Arabia? I think for him, he wants to really put an amazing legacy where you remember him as one of the greatest players in the Premier League, because he's beating records left, right, and centre. And I feel like that is his motive. I don't think he's just there for the paycheck. He wants to break as many records for Liverpool and the Premier League, and then do it to where he still feels like he's in a peak condition. I feel like he is. He might be slightly different in terms of how he plays right now. I feel like he's more calculating his play. He's more of a playmaker now. So he's not using his speed the way he used to do. So he's definitely adapting his game, but he's still lethal in terms of his passing and shooting. So yeah, for me, it's a very, very interesting one going forward. But yeah, we'll definitely do some more transfer shows. I feel like once the season pans out. But yeah, until then, it's pretty much listening to rumors, seeing who's linked to the club. Alonso is number 1 at the top in terms of our rumored target for the next managerial position. But hey, we'll wait and see. And then we've got another comment from Richard. He says, do you think if Xabi Alonso becomes the next manager at Leicester, will he change to a 5-2-2-1 or 4-2-3-1? Will he keep Klopp formation as 4-3-3? I don't think he'll keep. I don't think he will keep Klopp's formation as a 4-3-3. He could do, but I feel like for me, the players we have in our team, I feel like 4-2-3-1 suits the personnel in terms of what we have in the squad. We have a lot of players that are naturally suited to that formation. So, as I just previously mentioned, having Trent in the double pivot with McAllister would be phenomenal. You've got a right back in Conor Bradley, but we can also buy another right back if required, and Gomez could be a backup centre back. It's interesting. Yeah, so it's sort of like you say 5-2-2-1. It's more of a 3-4-2-1 formation that he plays at Leverkusen. I think he'll go for 4-2-3-1. That would be my safe bet. I think with the way the league is, it's probably more suited to have a back four than a back three. But yeah, we have the personnel to play both formations. To be fair, we have the personnel to play all three formations, which is why I have to give Klopp some credit and plaudits in terms of his recruitment in the summer and leaving the club in a good state, because whoever inherits the squad, whether it's Alonso, whether it's a different manager, they have a lot of players, good quality players that they can work around. And I don't think we'll need a lot of additions, regardless of the formation. I think we'll probably sign 2 to 3 players. I don't think it'll be that many changes unless there's players that have departed. But I think it will be more 2 or 3 additions to what we currently have, with Thiago and Matip leaving on a free transfer. So no, not a huge rebuild job for the next manager, which I feel like is a really, really good position for the next person in charge. And then Richard has just said our players will leave and new players will come in if Xabi Alonso becomes the next manager at Liverpool. A lot of people said that. I don't think that's the case. Like the whole Van Dijk thing, where he showed a bit of uncertainty in terms of I don't know. I think he only said that because it doesn't matter how great you are. When a new manager comes in, they might have a completely different point of view where they might not fancy Van Dijk, and we all know he's an elite defender, but someone might have different ideas for him or might not think he's at his best anymore and might want to move on. So that's why he kind of left that question unanswered, because like he's not sure, which is a fair response. So I think his answer got taken out of context. A lot of people saying Salah will leave. I don't think it's as clear cut as what people are making it seem out to be. I think he could definitely stay on going forward. Look, if Alonso manages to win the title in the Bundesliga with Leverkusen, I feel like that will excite the players. I can't lie. Even if they don't, even if they fall short right now, for me, that would be like, this manager seems exciting. He's a club legend as well. So, you've got so many players when they join, they're like, oh yeah, I used to watch Liverpool in 2005, and they always quote these matches. Alonso was part of that regime right there. So doesn't matter who you followed in world football, you already saw Alonso play to an extent, whether he was a Real Madrid player, whether he was a Liverpool player, or whether he was a Bayern Munich player. He played for these teams at their best spells, and he was definitely part of their success. So, he's not just like a former professional player that's become manager. He was an elite player, and right now he's probably one of the brightest prospects in the managerial world right now, in my opinion. So yeah, if players are leaving, that's a shame. I don't see it to be the case, if I'm being honest. But I think he's the number one candidate. I don't really favor anyone else. There are a few names out there, but for me, Alonso remains number one. And another comment here from Daz is, who would your subs be on Sunday? So in terms of availability, so we've got, let's think. So it will be Kelleher in goal. It will be Trent. Phillips. Still around, isn't he, Phillips? So he'll be our centre-back covered there. I don't think Tsimikas is ready, so I want to put Tsimikas there. Then you've got Gravenberch. Then you've got Elliott. Then I'll probably throw in Bobby Clark as another midfield option. So that's 6. I think we could do 9 stuff, isn't it? So 3 more players. Gakpo will be 1. I know Kate Gordon was there last time, so that's 8. Thiago's out, so it can't be Thiago. I'll probably add another youth player, McConnell. I know that doesn't seem like a very star-studded substitute bench there, but unfortunately, I think that's what we have available right now. So, because in terms of the last fixture, Thiago would have been one, but unfortunately he's out with an injury, which is very, very frustrating. Yeah, I think I'd go with those names. I know it's not as exciting as it seems, but you know, Bobby Clark, whenever he's come on, has done decent. McConnell, he'll be an option for a number 6 role, which is useful for us. Then you've got Kelleher, obviously. You've got Robertson will be starting for me. So you've got Phillips as your defensive cover there. Owen Beck actually might be an option in terms of a left back role. Maybe Owen Beck would come into this as well. Yeah. So Tsimikas, I think, will be ready for the Brentford game. So yeah, it'll be a mix of the young players there, and then you've got the likes of Elliott, Gakpo, Gravenberch as the more sort of senior or established first team players that we can bring off the bench. So yeah, options are there, and Trent will be on the bench as well. So 4 options there. So yeah, we've got, I think, more than enough quality to really have a stab at this game. So yeah, that is my match preview of Liverpool versus Burnley, and that concludes the show. So thank you to Richard and Daz for your comments. Appreciate your participation as always, guys. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. As I mentioned earlier, I will be doing the match reaction of this game Saturday evening at 10 p.m. UK time. It is a calling show, guys. So if you'd like to come on and have your say, the floor is yours. The link will be available in the description. I'll also pin it in the live chat for you for easy access. And yeah, come on, have your say, whether it's good or bad, or maybe you want to talk about the future, like Rich has asked me questions about Alonso. Yeah, feel free to ask me anything. It doesn't always just have to be about the match. It can be about Liverpool or football in general, to be fair. So yeah, also follow me on social for all the latest updates. You can follow me at OzzieFTP on Twitter/X, or you can follow me at Ozzie.ftp on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. Make sure to hit that notification bell on YouTube so you'll be notified of when I'm going live. And yeah, that's a wrap up for today, guys. So as always, take care, stay safe, and I hope to speak to you all on Saturday. Goodbye.